This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Here we present to you tonight's news bulletin. But first, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq greets the King of Norway on his country's National Day. The Minister of Health reports 45 deaths and 2,788 COVID-19 cases in 5 days. And Israeli airstrikes kill 37 and topple buildings in the Gaza city. Once again, live from this news center, here we present to you the details. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sends a cabal of greetings to His Majesty King Harald, the 5th King of Norway, on his country's National Day. The Minister of Health registered 45 deaths and 2,788 new cases of COVID-19 during the past 5 days. It also registered 3,951 recovered cases. The Minister of Health announced that the total number of COVID-19 cases registered in the Sultanate reached 205,501, while the total number of deaths reached 2,193. The total recovered cases reached 190,342 with a recovery rate of 93%. The ministry indicated that the total number of inpatients reached 722, among which 255 are in intensive care units around the healthcare institutions in the Sultanate. The United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF, praised the Sultanate's success in implementing the electronic census of population housing establishments 2020. It also stressed on the importance of its data in promoting the well-being of children and youth in the Sultanate. The UNICEF said in a statement received by the National Information and Statistics Center that the Sultanate was able to implement the census despite corona pandemic, stressing its importance through the data and information that the Sultanate used to create policies and future visions. UNICEF added that it will work with the National Information and Statistics Center on documenting the project of e-census and discover data provided in addition to the means of using them. The National Multi-Hazard Early Warning Center analysis indicates that the tropical cyclone Taote, located east of Arabian Sea, is expected to move adjoining to India coast, and it will further intensify to a tropical cyclone category 2 within the next 24 hours. It is expected to make a landfall on the Indian-Pakistani coast on 18th of May without any impact on the Sultanate. The center said the seas will be moderate to rough in the upcoming 3 days along most of the Sultanate coast, with an expected wave height ranging between 2 and 4 meters. A severe cyclone is roaring in the Arabian Sea off the southwestern India, with winds of up to 140 kilometers per hour, already causing heavy rains and flooding that have killed at least 4 people. Cyclone Taote, the season's first major storm, is expected to make a landfall on Tuesday in Gujarat state. In areas along the Arabian Sea coast, 4 people were killed and 73 villages badly damaged today. Nearly 2,500 government rescue workers have been deployed in 6 states on Cyclone Taote path: Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Maharashtra and Goa, equipped with wireless radios, satellite phones, cutters and tools needed for post-cyclone operations. The Indian Meteorological Department said that storm moving at a speed of 11 kilometers per hour was currently 660 kilometers southeast of Veraval in Gujarat state. The region is no stranger to devastating cyclones, but changing climate patterns have caused them to become more intense rather than more frequent. The novel coronavirus has killed more than 3.37 million people since the outbreak emerged in December 2019. At least 162.43 million cases of coronavirus have been registered yesterday. 11,923 new deaths and 641,818 new cases were recorded worldwide. The United States is the worst affected country with 585,708 deaths from almost 33 million cases. After the US, the hardest hit countries are Brazil with 434,715 deaths, India 270,284, Mexico 220,384, and the United Kingdom with 127,675 deaths. Europe overall has almost 1.2 million deaths. Asia 408,698, the Middle East 137,691, and Africa 126,079 deaths. Israeli airstrikes on Gaza City flattened 3 buildings and killed at least 87 people today, making it the deadliest single attack since heavy fighting broke out between Israel and the territory's Hamas rulers nearly a week ago. The violence, which came as international mediators worked to broker a ceasefire and stave off an Israeli ground invasion of the territory, marked the worst fighting there since the devastating 2014 war in Gaza. Earlier, the Israeli military said it destroyed the home of Gaza's top Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar in a separate strike in the southern town of Khan Yunis. It was the third such attack in the last 2 days on the homes of senior Hamas leader who have gone underground. It is a strike. In its airstrike, Israel has leveled a number of Gaza City's tallest office and residential buildings, alleging they contain Hamas military infrastructure. At least 188 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza, including 55 children and 33 women, with 1,230 people wounded. 8 people in Israel have been killed, including a 5-year-old boy and a soldier. Meanwhile, the United Nations Security Council today called for an immediate ceasefire between Israel's military and forces in Gaza and the use of negotiations to end these devastating cycles of violence. Welcome back to the Sultanate of Oman television, and now with the local news once again. The Muscat Stock Exchange Index in its first sessions after the Eid al-Fitr vacation rose to exceed the level of 3,840 points with a total trading value of more than 5.7 million Omani Riyals. This stock exchange witnessed a turnout by the investors after the positive results of companies in the first quarter of 2021. The upcoming period is expected to witness increased activities due to the rise in oil prices, which will contribute in the growth of the economy of Gulf countries besides the gradual return of foreign investments. Now, the Capital Market Authority CMA has launched a tender to provide an electronic payment service for the Money health insurance system. This service will contribute to the transfer of funds between health insurance service providers, health insurance policyholders, and the electronic payment service will be added in the first phase. The Money, which will be launched in the last quarter of 2021, will assist the regulatory authorities in tracking financial transfers between parties to the insurance relationship, insurance companies, private health institutions, health insurance claims management companies, health insurance policyholders, and verifying payments of amounts according to time periods specified in health insurance regulations and legislation. The total value of real estate trading in the Sultanate reached more than 788 million Omani Riyals, recording an increase by 3.3%. The fees collected from all legal transactions amounted to 21.8 million Omani Riyals, recording an increase by 17.6%. The Dubai Stock Exchange witnessed a remarkable increase in the volume of trade Oman crude oil to reach 11% compared to the year 2020. The stock exchange recorded more than 100 million barrels of Oman crude oil during the month of April for June delivery at a rate of 4.8 million barrels per day. On the other hand, the Minister of Energy and Minerals stated that the Sultanate is an important partner in the cooperation pact that brings together the members and non-members of OPEC to curb production quantities. The Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Investments Promotion stressed that the program on governance and management of industrial growth is one of the strategic industrial programs of 2040. It aims to implement the strategy successfully by facilitating the management, legal, organizational, technical and other aspects. The ministry pointed out that the number of gas cylinders that were examined in the annual examination stations in various governorates during the last year reached around 40,000 compared to 31,000 back in 2019. The volume of expenditure of the Vel Oman company reached more than $380 million along with the local companies. The company's investments value reached more than $10 million in projects related to social responsibility and sustainability since 2013 until 2020. The company's logistics location is in Sohar Port and Free Zone, and it is considered one of the major mining companies in the world. This is the Sultanate of Oman television, and before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq greets the King of Norway on his country's National Day. The Ministry of Health reports 45 deaths and 2,788 COVID-19 cases in 5 days. And Israeli airstrikes kill 37 and topple buildings in the Gaza city. And from all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night and stay safe and healthy.